Minutes left. Speaking of corporations, I remember reading the Newark Star Ledger, your relationship, your friendship with Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook when you were mayor of Newark. You worked with the tech companies. Looking back, any regrets?
Do I have any regrets for
working with
being
the tech companies?
one of the lowest income cities in America during a recession and doing everything I could to bring in hundreds of millions of dollars in philanthropy, especially for Newark schools, which are now, since I was mayor, seen over a 30% increase in graduation. We're now the #1 school system in America for beat the odds schools, high poverty, high performance. Majority of my kids are black. If you're a black kid in Newark, your chance of going to a school that beats the suburbs went up 300-400%. For raising teacher salary, which was the biggest thing we did, public school teacher salary with that money, I have no regrets whatsoever in doing everything I could to fight for my city in crisis and deliver real, measurable results.
Should Facebook, Amazon, Google be broken up?
Facebook, Amazon, and Google need some serious federal regulation, because what they're doing with our data on privacy issues, I think the fine that Facebook just had, you want to know what the impotency of that fine was? Their stock went up. Their stock value went up. Literally, Mark Zuckerberg and other owners, their net worth goes up, the result of a fine. It just shows that we are not doing what we need to do to change behavior and to deal with a culture right now where most of us don't even understand how our data is being collected and then used against us.
What do you think of that Face app that's out there? You're a user of the cell phone, as we know.
One of the things we need to do as a society is recognize our threats. I am still having a difficult time knowing that every day Russia is trying to undermine our democracy and use insidious means. These tech apps should be held accountable for how foreign nations are using those platforms for insidious purposes. But our government, our president, should be held accountable that at a moment of the greatest threat from the Russians since it was the Soviet Union, he is not doing what is necessary to defend this nation and defend our democracy.
Does that Face app give you pause? Would you do it?
My campaign, well before this was a national story, any campaign, it's malpractice if you're not doing things to protect. So a campaign alert went out in my campaign before it was even a national story saying, do not use this app.
Well, if these issues are so important, why not make them utilities, the social media companies?
I think that all of the options should be on the table. We don't know what these devices are doing to our brains. We don't know what they're doing to our kids. We should be doing a lot more research about having that cortisol. In my high school years, tough day at high school, you go home, you're getting a reprieve from bullying or a reprieve from the kind of shallow aspects of our culture that confuse wealth with worth, that confuse celebrity with significance, popularity with purpose. These are all cultural streams that have been supercharged by social media, and for many children, there's no escape. We need to have a much better conversation about what this is doing to our culture, which is doing to our brains, what it's doing when this information is being gathered by corporations to be used against us, how it's freezing racial disparities in our country, because now these algorithms are saying, hey, this person in this place is not loan worthy, or this person in this place shouldn't be shown educational information. Assumptions are being made. So I just think that there needs to be a whole lot of regulation, and a lot of the solutions to this should be put on the table, because we are entering a new era of humanity where these platforms are having outsized power and influence, and we need to have a conversation about how to protect ourselves and to see the good of technology. Because as a mayor, we use technology in innovative new ways to create efficiencies, to get more people engaging in society. We didn't talk about e-government. We use these platforms to create we-government, to help us more efficiently get potholes fixed or traffic lights out. So there's positives and as well as negatives, but we need to be doing what we can. I think there's a role for serious government regulation to prevent from the negative.